Miracles, Magic, and Coffee with me, Ralph Havens, and soon to be Dr. Tom Giammatteo joining us. And special session today. Let me just make sure all of this is off. Special session today that's real practical about things you can do to get your health back, and hopefully some simple things, but another layer of it, because toxic stuff is all around us, and we're going to be going deep into different things to look at, and simple things to do to change that could be a big key to your health. So look for that in a second. I'm going to take a little moment here because we are all family, and so a little casual, but I'm going to do a little housekeeping, a little homework here, just to share this with everybody. Okay, so there's that, and I'm going to put this in your portal. So if you're if you've gone to ralphhavens.com / what it says, Miracles, Magic, and Coffee. The and is the symbol and. ralphhavens.com / miracles, magic, and coffee. You'll go to a site that takes you to these videos, and I usually send out an email about them. I just put it in the description there for you, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in our ClickFunnels webpage just so that people can find this video right now. Let's just get this. Yeah, so just excuse me for just a moment while we get all this in place, because I want everybody that wants this information to get it. So just hang out with me for just a little bit. Dr. Tom Giammatteo will be joining us soon, hopefully. Every once in a while, he has a client that interrupts us, but that client I know needs him. So we hope to have him on in just a second. Let me just get this in place. Some homework. Just had an amazing session with a matrix matrix energetics practitioner. Let's turn that off. And it's not the one I want. And so I'm kind of like scrambling around between all the stuff we're doing today. People wonder why I might not get to their emails, and it's because I do a lot of stuff. So just hang out with me for just a minute. Okay. Here we go. Go to this website. Good. So we are in All Things Are Go. All Things Are Go. And All Things Are Go. Okay, so that link works now. ralphhavens.com / miracles, magic, and coffee. And that and is a symbol. And let's go see if Tom is coming yet. Good job, Tom. And if not, I'll just start to give you the information that I have for you. And I'll leave you a link also of a PDF gift that I want to give you. It has a whole bunch of ways to look for toxins and how to get them out of your body and out of your environment and out of your life, and get your health back. So yeah, while I wait for Tom, I'll go over this. So yesterday I had the opportunity to look through a whole bunch of hair products and body lotion products and all sorts of stuff like that to see if it was safe for somebody. And so I was looking through it, and it was really quite amazing because these products looked really, these products looked really natural. In fact, they donated to, here we go. They donated to good causes, and they had a lot of natural essential oils and natural ingredients like coconut oil, and and all sorts of really, really good stuff. A lot of them said gluten-free on it, and all the different little symbols for this is really good stuff. But I started looking at the ingredients, and there was a real long list of them. And so names like lauryl glucoside, decyl glucoside, let me see what this one says, behentrenium chloride, hexylglycerin octinidine hydrochloride. There was another behentrimonium. How did they come up with this? Sodium benzoate, which I had definitely heard of before. Dipropylene glycol, which I'd heard of before. That's antifreeze, and a whole bunch more. And here's Tom. And so I looked them up, and they were really toxic. I mean, they were talking about cancer. The studies showed they cause cancer. Studies were showing that they made menopause happen 4 or 5 years early. Lots of hormonal problems, lots of studies with reproductive stuff that was not good. And
Hey, right, right on the video.
Awesome. Yeah, so I had an opportunity yesterday to so welcome. It's so good to see you.
Yeah.
So I had an opportunity to look through a bunch of hair products and body lotions yesterday for somebody, and they were really good looking products. They had nice, graphics, and it said, it had words that were all the buzzwords for eco, green, friendly. They donated to charities that helped the planet. They had coconut oil and essential oils and all sorts of cool stuff in them. But I was reading through some of the ingredients, and I just read them off to people, stuff that you can hardly pronounce. Lauryl glucoside, decyl glucoside, behentrimonium chloride, sodium benzoate, dipropylene glycol. There was a whole bunch more. And
you'll need to turn on my camera, buddy.
I did a little research, and it was like, oh my goodness, they're like linked to cancer in a really strong way. They're linked to reproductive damage in women and early menopause by multiple years if people are taking this stuff. And yet, this family that thought they were doing really good things for their health and using real natural products, I'm sure it costs a lot of money. And they had some really good ingredients labeled organic and stuff. They had these things that that were just a cursory look through the research was like, oh my goodness, this stuff is bad. And so let's see, how do we get your camera on?
You have to make me a host.
I thought I did. Oh, let's see. Let me go try that again. Make host.
There you go.
Here it goes. Yeah, there we go. Great. So I was just, I just thought, maybe you could go through and I could give them a list of stuff. I've got a list, but obviously now I've got a bigger list. People are looking for good stuff to put on their bodies. And I actually had to reach out to one of my friends because he found, I was like, well, he doesn't seem to have a problem with it. And he gave me a couple of products and they look pretty good. I got to go look at them again. And I know for me and Jen, we use really, really natural stuff like borax and vinegar for cleaning. And we use apple cider vinegar and baking powder and salt, a little routine for washing hair. And we have really natural toothpaste that we've looked at the ingredients and you could eat it if you want. So, but so many people get these products and they have labels that look good until you look at all the ingredients and there's all this chemical stuff. And so what is your thoughts on that? And, people want to live in the real world, but how do you work that?
Well, there are a lot of extra toxins in the world. I've been saying this statement to about 8 people this week so far, and it's only Wednesday, right? The average female between 20 and 45 years old are putting about 45 pounds of chemicals on their body per year for perfumes and deodorants. And so by the end of the year, by the time they do their makeup and use their lotions and conditioners, it's about 45 pounds of extra junk that they're putting in their body. our IMT Wellness Company has a Cassatil soap that I actually import from England that's made of organic sunflower oil and coconut oil.
This is
And
awesome. What's the name of it?
IMT Cassatil soap.
Okay, we are going to get that to everybody.
Yeah. The famous one out there is Dr. Bronner's Cassatil soap.
Yeah.
But this one is much richer. It doesn't dry out your skin. Over the 20 years that we've been carrying it in, I actually brought it in because two of my grandchildren, when they were born, were even having rashes with the baby lotions and the baby pieces, and we use it as part of our detox process. So taking a bath with it every day.
Oh, it's not good. You can use it as a
Yeah.
detox. Wow.
Yeah. That's the only thing I use as a shampoo and body wash for myself for the last 10 years or so. And it's so rich, it almost acts like a conditioner in your hair. And I have maybe about 20 case studies of children, teens in their acne age years, washing their face with it before they go to bed at night, and all the acne clears up, type of thing.
Oh, that's awesome. I've got to give your site, IMT, that's
Wellness Center.
Therapy, imtwellnesscenter.com. And we're going to get that today. So that's super useful.
Right. So that's one piece. So another external tool that we have is our IMT green tea that we exclusively import from central Taiwan. And it's award-winning green tea that is probably about $50, $60 an ounce per se. And, we sell it here, 11-ounce bag for $40 or something like that. Could last you a whole year. And we found, and we've been testing it for over 25 years, it's a wonderful liver detoxification tool. And when I'm doing detoxification of the body, I actually have them do a detox bath with it. So they take like a half a teaspoon of pellets, because it's not a tea leaf bag. It's actually full tea leaves that when they put in hot water, they actually pop open. And so you take a half a teaspoon of green tea leaves and you put it in a pot of water and you boil it until it turns really dark brown. And you pour that into a tub and you take the leaves out so they don't clog your drain, and they soak in it for 15 to 20 minutes. And that's been very therapeutic in helping people out too. And then we have 2 sea salts. We have a Dead Sea sea salt that we have for eating and taking a bath, and it has plenty of magnesium and sulfurs in it for a detox bath. And then we have a Himalayan salt, and both of these I did years of research and product development. They come from certain manufacturers that are extremely good. And so the Himalayan salt is also supposed to be known for asthma and respiratory pieces.
Awesome. And so those, they would take a bath as well.
Yeah. So we have the Cassatil soap, we have Himalayan salt, and we have Dead Sea salt, which you could also sprinkle on your food. They're food grade quality. And then we have the green tea for drinking for internal detoxification, and for external detoxification.
Whoop.
We usually do, whoops.
Oh, I can still hear you. You're probably getting a call or something. Uh-oh. Did we lose Tom? I think we lost Tom. We'll get him back. So let's just go over that, because that's huge. That's really huge. So imtwellnesscenter.com. It's so amazing. I didn't even know they had soaps and stuff yet. So there's Tom.
Hey, hello. Yeah.
So Tom's back. Let me just make sure we can get him back where we want him.
You have to put me as host again, Ralph.
You're there as host. No, there you go. Make co-host. Okay.
Try again.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, I just gave him the website again, imtwellnesscenter.com. After all these years, I didn't even realize you guys had soaps and stuff.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's
Coming
okay.
back there. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of detoxification that way, but let's get into, um, uh, for detoxification, we really want to find out what poisons are. So I just talked to a woman who's going through a major chemo for severe breast and aggressive uterine cancer. And I was trying to help coach her through, what a functional medicine doctor would say versus an oncologist. And she goes, well, my doctor doesn't want me to eat any gluten. He doesn't want me to have any nuts. And it was really surprising to hear that this oncology group was following the same recipe that I give everybody else: is stay off the gluten, stay off the sugar, avoid peanuts and almonds. And those are things that can irritate the system. Okay. And I hope everybody here is already at the page where they're not drinking, and eating processed food. Like Coca-Cola and McDonald's is carcinogenic anyways.
Yeah.
So,
for those simple ones, just don't eat processed food, eat organic.
Yeah.
And no sugar, gluten, peanuts, almonds.
And then this morning I had a breast cancer survivor on my table, and we were focusing into her armpit area. And there's a lot of people are using antiperspirants, which have aluminum in them. And in nutrition and functional medicine, they say the armpit is about sweating, but it's also about detoxification. And as soon as you put an antiperspirant on, you clog your pores up. And one realization that I came to today, Ralph, was that especially in women who are always shaving their armpits,
Oh yeah,
they're actually cutting more holes into their body, right? Every time they get a little razor burn. Now, when they're on the antiperspirants there, it's actually going right in, and it's not the skin absorbing it. It's actually right going into the bloodstream every time they do that. So that was an interesting realization, because I found lots of papers on how aluminum, and they've pulled it out of our cooking pots and everything, has caused Alzheimer's and other cancers. But that when it comes to deodorant health or antiperspirant health, the people are saying, no, there's no correlation that can cause that. And skin is skin. If it causes the GI distress, and you can give birth control in a patch, or you can give all these other things in patch therapies, and then they deny that the aluminum can't get through the body if you're putting it on the skin all the time, is just like paradoxical insanity.
yeah, paradoxical. That's yeah. So it's so funny. I know when people have such an issue with smelling,
Yeah.
I know when we lived out by the mountain and that we were bathing in well water, and we didn't have much of an issue with that at all. Coming here with all the water that has the chlorine and everything, it was more of an issue. The skin got dried out a lot faster, and we didn't feel good. And when we were sleeping we literally slept in the dirt for 3 weeks many years ago when we were building a earthen house as part of a training, and we didn't take a shower. I think once a week we took a shower, maybe, but we didn't smell. So funny.
Yeah, there's some discussion, like all the products that you'd find in the grocery store with that list of stuff that you can't pronounce really wipes off the normal flora from your body. And there's now more and more research that, we're learning about probiotics for our gut. And, the functional medicine group is actually saying, what about the normal bacteria that's supposed to be protecting your body? So when you're taking a bath from a city water pipe and it's got the fluoride and the chlorine in it, you are blasting yourself with antibiotics.
It's like an antibiotic, but to take a bath with all this chlorine and stuff.
And I have to say that the event of COVID, I feel that we've gone super sterile, and people were slowly getting away from being sterile and using better antimicrobial processes before COVID. But now at the school systems on the East Coast, they're fogging the schools at night. They're putting poisons Yeah, and I've even written some newsletters on everybody grabbing that uh, towel before you walk into the grocery store and wiping everything down. My comparison of that is I go to Costco's is right around the corner from here, and I like shopping their organic foods sometimes. And they used to have these little handlebars on their shopping carts, but they were candy red. And now with all the soaps and stuff, they're now a really pink because it's been bleached out and everything else. And for years they had the same shopping carts, and it's, the chemicals that are doing the plastic, imagine what they're doing to our skin every day. So there's going to be a rebound of people even getting sicker because they're using the anti-sterols in their body. So
interesting, because it's like yeah, all those bugs that are supposed to be on our body, just like wiping them clean. It's kind of like if you have weeds in the yard, you take a flamethrower and destroy everything. It's like, well, we got rid of the weeds.
yeah, that's about the size of it. And so, other parts of better detoxification that you can look for, as indicators is, is my urine clear or a slight tinge of yellow, or is my urine really dark yellow? And that means we're not having enough fluid through our body to help wash out all the chemicals. And then how often do you make a bowel movement, right? Ideally 2 to 3 times a day. Every time you eat something, your bowels should be stimulated and almost have to go to the bathroom about 20 minutes later is the perfect reflex for your body. And I have clients that are making bowel movements sometimes 2 to 3 weeks. And
so tough.
And if you're a regular person that at least goes once a day, if you got backed up for 2 days, how good it is to have that release. So imagine those toxicities even going in deeper and deeper into the body.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. 2 or 3 times a day. I mean, I don't do that. And I do pretty good with everything I do.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, the natural process is, if you think of it as a continuous train through your body,
Yeah.
called the anal oral reflex, and that's why babies, soil a diaper right after they eat.
Yeah.
It's like, got to make movement down that whole process. So that would be the ideal.
Yeah, what if it's almost conditioned, like, this is how you function in life. You don't want to take too much time for certain things, and it's been conditioned. It's like first thing in the morning, and then you're good to go. It's like,
right.
Just a habit.
Yeah. So getting back to that whole process, or in Eastern philosophy, it's making that sense that that's there, and processing that out during the whole piece. But at least the minimum should be once a day, right? And
Yeah.
so,
And I think from what I mean, I don't ask Ben, but it seems like he starts to eat, and he's like, I got to go to the bathroom. So
yeah.
a couple of times a day at least.
Yeah. So you don't want to try to. That would be the perfect scenario of having that process happen in somebody. So detoxification is pretty important, and every time we put something on our skin, and we were also having a discussion today of these seltzer waters that have flavor in them, and you can buy them in the store. And then we were looking, was it real fruit juice they put in there, and they're saying natural flavoring.
Yeah.
So is that real flavoring or not flavoring at all? And so every time, I've been teaching this for over 15 years now, as soon as you take a water and you put some flavor in it, your body considers it a food.
Yeah.
And there's a different hydration route for liquid versus the different hydration route between pure water and something that tastes like food. So the body really can't tell the difference between eating an apple or drinking a glass of apple juice. As soon as you put that flavor on the tongue and the cranial nerves actually tell your body, okay, I'm getting a piece of fruit down here, so let's get the enzymes to eat an apple.
Oh.
So if you're even spritzing your water with lemon and lime, which are great detoxification pieces, you're actually amplifying the water and telling your body, I'm going to have some lemon, and that's a good detoxification now, instead of, or just when you drink pure water, your body knows it's water, and it takes less time to digest pure water when your body tastes water than if you put a little flavoring in it. And some of my patients, you may have found this too, they hate the taste of water. They'll actually say that to you.
Yeah.
And we're designed to live in the desert and have 2 teaspoons of water a day to survive on, to drinking 8 to 10 glasses of water a day.
Wow.
So if you only had 1 glass of water every 3 days, your body's going to go in a conservative drought mode and will not like the water to be even there. So even sometimes I start people with a half a cup of water a day, and eventually, if they continue to increase that over time, they will get to the craving, I need water again. So your body really will conserve water and think you're in a drought if you don't continue to drink water. So there is a stage, and even if you get up to like 3 glasses and you have to run to the bathroom, if you continually do. Are you there, Ralph?
Yep.
If you continuously do that for 2 to 3 weeks, you don't have to urinate as much, because the body then starts to trust you that you have enough water in your body so that you can start to pee it out again. So
awesome. This is so good. I'm writing this down. Enjoy it, but this is really, really valuable, very accessible, easy to just like make some changes kind of stuff. So this is great. I'll put it in the comments. And so people can actually get over that I don't like the taste of water thing.
Yeah, and that's sort of unnatural. I mean, if they're craving Coca-Cola, you got to ask, why did you shift? The water should be something everybody craves. If it, the only caveat to that is if you're drinking crappy water, which is usually city water, you may want to be repulsed with that piece.
Hopefully, you got to check on that lawsuit. They're supposed to be like wrapping that thing up and getting fluoride out of the water in the United States completely. That lawsuit is going on right now, and it's like it's a done deal. They gave for some reason our EPA and Department of Justice is fighting on the side of keep fluoride in the water. It's kind of funny, but the scientists in the Fluoride Action Network are fighting with the I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. might be part of that lawsuit, but to get it out. And they put a little more time on the trial because a new study came out that said that fluoride lowers IQ in children on par with lead. And so if mothers are pregnant with a baby and they're drinking fluoridated water, the IQ goes down on par with lead. And they said, well, we got to give the EPA and the Department of Justice time to see if they have a study refuting that. And there's not one. But so as far as I know, everything's in place for it to be made a law that we got to get all that lowering IQ fluoride stuff out of the water in the U.S., which would be amazing.
Yeah. So it would be, So if we go down the list one more time, drink about, spring water would be the best from a natural source. Then filtered waters would even be, slightly better than not drinking city water. And then we talked about changing your antiperspirant to the deodorant, or if we can go back to that topic one more time.
What do you recommend?
Well, I recommend that we're moving into the fall, and my personal use of that is, and I suggest to my clients as I'm starting to help them get healthier, is we're supposed to allow fluids to come out from under our armpits. And when you have bad bacteria, it really smells, or you're dumping out toxins, it smells. But I've been deodorant free for a good 15 years now, and it's barely maybe 3 days a year that I can pick up a body odor, or one of my staff tells me, you're smelling. And we have that open courtesy that everybody in my office doesn't want to use deodorant, but when we know that somebody's a little stressed and they're smelling, they'll share that, so we can not be embarrassed for us or the clients. But now's the perfect time. And what I really suggest is to wash with a neutral soap like the Cassatil soap. and then get a cotton t-shirt and put that on, and then put whatever deodorant or smell you want on the outside of the t-shirt. And that makes a barrier, and you can, and the cotton t-shirt wicks all the liquid away from you, but it doesn't go smelling for other people.
Nice. Jen has something that's some sort of like salts, like it's a little rock or something that she uses sometimes.
But the mineral salts are pretty good also. They kill the bad bacteria, and sometimes I use colloidal silver, and we have one called silver spray, and you spritz that under it, gets all the bad bacteria out and keeps the good flora there at the same time.
That's an IMT wellness product too?
Yep, silver spray it's called. So we are the beauty industry of the future.
That's for sure. Hopefully, man. Because I mean, I was looking at these this whole basket of hair and body wash products, and they all on their packaging look like super green, eco-friendly, donate to the save the planet kind of companies. And then I was reading all these law and chemicals and research. It's like, oh my God, cancer and reproductive harm, and menopause starts 4 or 5 years earlier, and that in all of them. One of them didn't have anything that I could find. Magnesium hydroxide. It was magnesium hydroxide and tea tree oil, and I couldn't find anything that said a scientific study that said it was bad. But that product is used in making paper, and I thought, that doesn't sound good. I mean, it doesn't sound like you should put it under your armpit. But so yeah. This has been really good. This is simple stuff that can make a giant difference. It might not seem simple in the beginning as people transition to something like this, but overall it's simple, because once you get your products, you just know what to get, and then it's not such a big deal. So the IMT Castile soap that you can use also as a detox, but use that as your soap and your shampoo. Mm-hmm. Green tea that you can use as a detox also for your bath, but just to drink a little bit. And it's just like 2 or 3 little buds per pot of tea, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that 11-ounce bag lasts a long time. There's Dead Sea salt that's from imtwellnesscenter.com that's for eating, but also for bathing, and Himalayan sea salts. That one is good for eating also, or just for baths?
Nope, they're both food grade quality salts. Yeah.
And baths, and then simple things to do. We don't need to talk a lot about the whole thing, but because people think almonds are like healthy food, but you're recommending processed sugar free. You can still have maple syrup and honey, but no processed sugar, no gluten, 100% off of gluten, no peanuts, and no almonds. Just try it for a month, and try it for 3 months if you can. I don't recommend going back and testing with a big slice of pizza, but if you want to test it, you can see how awful you feel. But,
well, the true test is if you've been gluten-free for a good month or 2 months, and you're still craving whatever that is, a Twinkie or an Oreo or a slice of pizza, go out and pick a Sunday. And so you have a timestamp of when you do it. So intentionally go eat that piece of gluten on that day. Yeah. But you'll also, if you didn't have headache, if you felt like you've been getting more energy off of gluten, or you didn't have your headaches, and then you have your serving of gluten, you have to wait for 2 whole weeks. If you have a headache within those 2 weeks, it's probably because the gluten. Sometimes it takes 7 to 8 days before you have a reaction to the sickness of gluten in those pieces.
And what do you think it would be? Would it be useful to if you're not having a reaction, just to go ahead and eat it every day for a week and see what happens, or just eat it at one time?
Even that one time is good enough to. But if you want to keep eating it and you notice that you're getting your headaches back or you're getting sluggish, it's just going to amplify it a little bit faster too.
Yeah, and then of course the no eating processed foods and drinks. We had one person that was so frustrated many years ago, as we tried to ramp him up to good eating too fast, and he just couldn't. He was like, I gotta live in the real world, and so I kind of understand, because we all started this. Tom and I started this. Everybody done this. It's been a process, so don't beat yourself up. But these are all things that can make a giant difference. And one of my coaches is young, really young. She's in her 20s, and she had cancer, really not good. And she's go over it. Hopefully she just stays over it. Her sister, also a young woman, had cancer. And it's like, that's environmental. That doesn't just happen. We don't have DNA that's that bad. There's something, these are things that can make a big difference in your life. So, yeah. So then let's see, no antimicrobial soaps and stuff. It's getting strange out there with what they're doing to the schools. And drinking good water. That looks pretty good. And then the IMT Wellness Silver Spray, if you want that for your deodorant, or Jen uses a mineral salt rock thing that she uses, or just go deodorant free and see what happens if you're just.
Yeah, and you will probably smell a little bit, but that's okay. If you can naturally get over it, that's even better. But
Yeah.
if you try the t-shirt trick of coating, putting the t-shirt on and putting your deodorant on the outside of that, then nobody's going to notice until when you take your shirt off at night, you're going to have a little bit of an odor. Just go rinse your armpits out.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you guys, it's like Tom and I could make a lot of money and never tell you this and just keep treating people. Tom have products that help, but I'm telling you, of course, that's not the thing that's paying his bills in a big way. So this is stuff that there's no financial big reason for us to give this information, like get off of gluten, get off of sugar. But it literally just, you do these things and man, you don't have to go see all these practitioners all the time. So, so thank you, Tom. Very generous, very great, awesome. I'm going to spread the word and put an email out to everybody with these recommendations. And so www.imtwellnesscenter.com. There's a phone number just to call for the supplement part of the company, and just go grab that stuff. I'm actually going to do that now because there's some stuff I learned today. So Tom, thank you, man. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Okay.
Stay well and talk to you next week. Okay.
All right. See you soon. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, you guys. Let's heal yourself and heal the world. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions.